Ben?
Mike, it seemed like you guys didn't quite have the same rhythm that you had the last few weeks offensively. What did you kind of diagnose that to, and what did you kind of see from that group?
Well, I thought their defense, I thought Auburn's got a good defense, and they have most of the year. And then I thought we missed some opportunities. I thought that we had some self-inflicted wounds. It's almost like the worst thing happened at the worst time type of thing for us. We'd move the ball and then, have a guy wide open and then all of a sudden not protect, or, protect pretty well and guys get jammed at the line of scrimmage, or, then I'm sure Will's got a couple throws he'd like to have over again. Some of those were a combination of protection and routes clearing and things like that. And, we've just got to fight through it and improve as a team. It's the same thing. Of course, nobody really thought when you started this season that we'd play Auburn nearly this close. So you guys were certainly in for a pleasant surprise there. In our case, we're kind of reeling from the disappointment of not playing as well as we could have this game.
And just real quickly, do you have any update on Marquise Spencer and what his status is?
Yeah, he's moving around and he's doing, it looks very positive, at the hospital and everything.
Steve?
Coach, you mentioned those two throws we would like to have back. What did you see on those two interceptions, and what did you tell them on the sideline?
Well, he was pressured on both of them. One, he just flat out forced. He should have thrown it out of bounds. The other one, he got hit as he was throwing it. And then there were defenders there because at the outside receiver position, we didn't clear him out of there. Kind of got jammed and then jogged on our route.
Joel?
Mike, in the pregame ceremony, I don't know if there's anything to read into that or not, but some of the seniors, Osiris and Javante, and I think C.J. Morgan and Fred Peters weren't out there. Is there anything to read into that? Do those guys plan to come back, or have those discussions really even happened yet?
They haven't really happened yet. Javante didn't come out? Well, I don't know. He was in the locker room. Maybe he just wasn't interested in coming out. I don't know. I've seen him pretty much the whole day, and then and he practiced this week and then was unavailable for the game. But anyway, we'll mail him his stuff,
I could have just missed him if I did. My apologies.
Well, maybe I don't know. It's kind of a mixed deal. Some of these guys are thinking about coming back, and so maybe maybe they figure they'll celebrate it next year instead of 2 times or something. I don't know. I lose track myself, but if you have a pretty good eye for it, send me what you got, and then I can use it as cliff notes if somebody asks me again.
Steve?
Coach, it seemed like defensively you guys really held them at bay for a long time. You just couldn't get, the big play. I mean, you mentioned some routes not being run correctly, but you had some big drops tonight too. I mean, how do you kind of address that and get better?
Yeah, we just got to keep rolling. We're kind of thin at that group, to be perfectly honest with you, and it's been hit and miss. But, we've had good practice. We just got to keep working. We got to keep grinding away, I thought that some of the 50-50 balls we should have been better at,
We'll go back to Ben.
Mike, did you ever get an explanation of why that targeting call was overturned in the first half?
If you give me $10,000, I'll give you the best explanation you've ever had in your entire life.
Fair enough.
John?
Mike, I noticed that KJ was out there, warming up, full pads, everything. How easy of a decision was it for you to go with Will again this week? And how was KJ kind of looked in practice? Was it kind of a quarterback situation, like competition, or was it really Will's job all along this week?
No, it wasn't a competition. Will's been steadily improving, and no, I'd plan to play Will.
We'll go back to Joel.
With kind of the ups and downs, I guess, offensively all year long. I know you've been doing this a long time, Mike, but just what's kind of your I'm pretty sure you're not, worried or anything like that, but just what's kind of your overall thoughts about just the future of this offense and going forward? I know you played a ton of freshmen and things, but I'm sure there's no panic, correct?
No, there isn't, and I've seen steady improvement, that I've been quite proud of these guys, and I was proud of how hard they played today. We're haphazard at times and, that sort of thing. But, no, we've got a lot of youth out there, and, I think they're improving, and, they continue to get better.
Steve.
Coach, against Georgia and Ole Miss, you guys protected really well, but tonight there were some lapses. Why do you think Auburn had success getting to the quarterback?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'd have to go back and watch the film. To me, it seemed like they were individual breakdowns. Basically individuals that not one guy. It didn't seem like it was one guy. It's kind of like they took turns. And if you take turns 8 times, I mean, those are huge plays, and it was unfortunate. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I mean, when one of them would take turns, there'd be Wally or somebody wide open, ready for a gigantic play. One of those interceptions was going to be a monster play if he could step through and the ball floated because he got hit. Okay, if he could have stepped through, I mean, that was going to be a monster play. And then, we had several like that, and it's almost like we took turns at the worst possible times. And then, we had other issues that too. I think that, it's over-tried for a while. Played tense. That's the thing, is motivating him wasn't difficult. Playing tense, trying to make too much happen sometimes was, and then, but just playing keep away with regard to opportunities we had out there.
Ben.
Mike, I know your defense this year has mostly made some really big plays in big spots, and for the most part did again tonight. Just what has Zach Arnett meant to this defense and to what you guys have been able to do on that side of the ball to this point this season?
I think he's done a tremendous job. I think our defense continues to grow as well. I thought that they, one thing towards the end, I think both sides of the ball for us, towards the end, I mean, as we got fatigued because we're playing with not too many guys, we're still below the national limit or whatever that equals. And so as a result, we don't have quite the depth we'd like. But I thought they played extremely hard. I think Zach gets a great deal out of them, and I think brings a lot of intensity, and I think the players thrive on that too.
Tyler.
Mike, the feeling after those Georgia and Ole Miss games was kind of you guys were right there and really could have won those. You've said it. A lot of people have said it. This one, the gap seemed to be a little wider by the end anyway. It was close for a lot of it. But the offense obviously regressed a little bit tonight too. So what do you think is the takeaway in this game? Does it feel like you guys were right there and could have won this? Or what was the feeling in the locker room too?
Well, you saw the game. We were within less than a touchdown for 3/4 of it. And then we were within a touchdown. Part of me's wondering if you and I both saw the same game.
Obviously, the offense didn't play as well as it did in the last 2 games, though. So I'm just wondering if you guys feel like you're still right there.
Well, I don't know that that's entirely true, but I think that we did probably we had less mishaps. I would say, but Auburn's a great defense and has been throughout the season, and so we're going to keep up the constant work. And if you'd like, I could proofread some of your articles and see whether you're on a steady upswing as well. I'm minored in English, so I'd be happy to do it if you have any material you'd like to send me, and I can go ahead and evaluate it and see if you're on an upward trend.
Would love to do that. I might be getting a little stale. Maybe you could help me out.
Okay, I look forward to seeing your articles.
Last question goes to Joel.
Mike, what have you been told as far as from a bowl situation? Is it, imperative that you guys win the last one, or is it just kind of wait and see? Just what's kind of your understanding of the bowl situation going into the final?
It's kind of a moving target. I don't know the details on it. I don't know that it's been decided yet with regard to that. If we have a chance to play another game, no matter what form it comes in, I'd be thrilled to do it. Because a great opportunity for our team to work and continue to build. Because we had a shortened camp, and of course didn't get spring ball, so we want to pack in as much of that as we possibly can, and then that and have a game on the other end of it, all the better. All right, sounds good. You guys have a good night. Drink Coke and hang on because.
How we doing?
All right, we have Austin Williams. Joel?
Hey, Austin, obviously tonight, not the offensive night you guys wanted after a couple of pretty good showings, at Georgia and Ole Miss. I guess from your eyes, what were kind of some of the issues tonight?
We just, we got to make the plays that are expected of us. The regular plays, we don't have to do anything extraordinary. We just had some opportunities tonight. We just need to click better, execute each person on the field, me included, everyone. It's just some small plays, we got to make and we got to consistently make and, keep on moving down the field. We got to stay on the field on third downs and just keep on working.
Ben?
Austin, a little bit to that, but it seemed like you guys had a little bit less rhythm tonight than maybe the last few weeks. Is there anything you attribute that to, or what were you guys maybe seeing from the Auburn defense that was making things hard?
Auburn's defense, they played hard. They played tough for sure. They're a physical group, but we still got to play our game. We can't let that affect us. We prepared all week for it. And we just got to put that on the field. It's a lack of execution on our part, and each individual person needs to uphold it.
Joel?
I think we ought to ask you this or something similar about this like every week or so, but Jaden Wally just continues to impress out there. And, as an older guy, just what have you been impressed by as you've watched him? And I think he's had 3 straight 100-yard games and set the freshman receiving record, I think, tonight. And just what about him stands out to you guys, whether it's on the field or at practice or in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, Jaden's been doing great lately. He's a great teammate, great player on the field, off the field, in the locker room. He's a good kid. He works hard. He does his part. He's a positive guy. He's really come into his role. Obviously he's done really well lately, but he hasn't got big-headed about it or anything. I think he's handled himself extremely well. And, the sky's the limit for him for sure.
John?
Austin, how do you think just like this team is trending? Obviously, tonight you guys didn't get the result you wanted. It looked more promising the last couple of weeks. Where do you think you guys are just kind of piggybacking off before?
Like I said, first, there's no moral victories. We want to win. We lost tonight. It's not acceptable for us. But, big picture, we have been trending in the right direction. I can see it coming together on both sides of the ball, special teams included. It's positive. The locker room's positive. Everybody's working hard. I think we're leaving our hearts out on the field. You know, end result isn't what we want, but I'm proud of the team where we are headed.
Ben?
Austin, just in terms of this season, obviously it's been a lot between all the COVID stuff and getting tested every day and kind of watching what you guys are doing. I mean, how much do you guys feel like, playing in a bowl game is something that this team wants to do, just given how long this season has been and kind of everything that's gone into it?
We want to play. Another opportunity to get better, develop, grow, prepare guys for next season, give guys more film if they want to go to the league, whatever it may be. We want to play. It's not a question. If we got a chance to roll the ball out, get after it, it's all for it.
Anyone else for Austin? Okay, questions for Errol Thompson. Robbie?
Errol, you became the first guy since '02 to notch 300 tackles in your career, long career here in Starkville. I'm just curious what we talked a little bit to you last week, I think, about your time in Starkville, whatever. But I'm just curious what that means to you to get that milestone and your time at Mississippi State.
It's really a blessing. That was something I looked at before the season and something I wanted to accomplish. I knew it would be a kind of a push with a 10-game season. So it's really just a blessing, and I'm very, thankful for my time here and, my coaching, Coach Arnett, and he's put me in great positions all year so to accomplish that. So just a blessing, really.
Ben?
Oh, you kind of mentioned Coach Arnett, but in terms of what he's done for you guys as a defense, what has he kind of meant to you guys at this point in the season, from where you guys started at with all kind of the young pieces that you had to being able to make the plays that you guys are making tonight and kind of through the end of the season?
He's been everything. Coach Arnett, he's a great coach. He's probably, this is a bold statement, but probably the greatest, the best defensive coordinator I've had, and I'm willing to say that because I played for a lot of coaches, but he's a great coach. He comes in every day, he puts the time in, he puts the work in, and he won't tell you that, but he really does put the work and the time in behind the scenes. So we're really just feeding off of him, and we're kind of like the finishing product, but still a long way to go.
Joel?
Errol, you guys have been so good against the run this year, and I think Bigsby had 190-something yards tonight on the ground and things. I guess just from your perspective, is that just kind of a hat tip to him, or just from your perspective, what was kind of the issues tonight stopping them on the ground?
Really, it's just a hat tip. I feel like me personally, I think it's just a hat tip to them. I feel like they did a lot of great things and schemed up, a lot of great things. And but it was a pretty challenging game. It was pretty neck and neck the whole game, even though he did, rush for whatever you just said. But I feel like hats off to those guys, really.
We'll go back to Robbie.
Errol, you've had so many different defensive schemes that you've been in, 3-3-5, 3-4-4-3, and all that. But your role has pretty much stayed the same throughout. You've been kind of the constant of the defense every single year. How have you tried to leave your stamp on this defense and, Mississippi State over your career?
Just being a guy that leads by example. When I first got here, I really didn't talk much. A lot of people would tell you that. But I always try to, lead by example, just try to be the guy who, gives it my all every day without saying a lot. And I kind of grown into that vocal leader over the last couple of years. But just really I want to leave my mark. I feel like I've left my mark as a guy who leads by example. And, I'm really thankful for that.
Ben?
Earl, I kind of asked Austin this too, but in terms of this season, between all the COVID stuff and being tested all the time and kind of watching what you guys are doing, do you guys feel like you guys are, want to keep going, want to play a bowl game? Or, how has that kind of been in terms of that balance?
I feel like the guys, we want to play a bowl game, of course. It's always good. We came here to play football, so why not? We might as well finish it out strong. Our training staff is doing a great job with the, COVID and everything like that, and we've had it under control, for a little bit this year. So I feel like they have a great plan. Why not? I feel like we would be ready to play a bowl game.
Anything else for Errol? Joel?
We asked you this the other day, Errol. I know that you haven't made any kind of decisions between then and now, but what will be kind of your decision-making process like? Just play out the season and then talk to who you need to talk to, or just what's kind of going through your mind as far as deciding what's next for you?
Really just finishing out the season really strong, and just getting with my family after next week, and really just deciding what the best thing for me, to do in the future. So just after next week, I'll make the decision.
Thank you, Earl.
All right, thank you. Hail State.
Jaden, it seemed like you guys had just a little bit less, maybe Christmas tonight, a little bit less rhythm. Did you see it? Were you seeing anything out there that maybe you attribute that to? Is it something Auburn was doing, or what do you kind of maybe attribute it to?
That was just pretty athletic, and we prepared for them. I think we did. We did as far as effort. We did as best we could. I think we could have cleaned a few things up, but as much as I think.
Joel.
Jay, I don't even know how aware of it you are, as you did a lot of special things tonight. 3 straight 100-plus yard games and first 500-yard receiver in about 5 years at Mississippi State, and I think set the freshman receiving record in a season too. And back during fall camp, I don't know that a lot of people knew that you were going to have this big of a role in the offense. I guess, did you know during fall camp how big of a role you were about to play in this offense? And I guess, are you kind of surprising yourself even right now with the things that you're doing?
It definitely surprised me. I just think I come to practice and practice hard every day, play hard as I can, and my quarterback just give me a chance, and I take the opportunity, make the best of it.
Anything else for Jaden? Tyler.
Jaden, how scary was that when Marquise was on the field? Obviously, he was down for a while, and y'all can't really do anything else but just watch and pray in that moment. So what was going through your mind at that time? And, yeah.
I just thought that we had to do it for him, I know Marquise is a tough guy. He wouldn't want us to be worried about him. So we just kept playing, play the next play.
Anything else for Jaden?